Hello and welcome back, or for the first time, to my Opera for Dummies series. This is another chapter in the La Boheme saga. Yesterday I put out a video. I hope you weren't too shocked hearing me singing like Luciano Pavarotti, Nessun Dorma. Obviously I cannot imitate him properly, but I hope it made you laugh and didn't make you switch off the channel straight away. Anyway, if you are here for the first time, let's talk about La Boheme and about the performance of the Royal Opera House yesterday evening. I mean, it was recorded in 2017, but that was broadcasted like a live event yesterday, and it was very enjoyable. However, I found that there were many things that unfortunately I didn't like, and I am not a critic. I was brought up musically opera in the tradition of the Colombian National Opera Company between 1977 and 1984. And I sang the La Boheme in the choruses many times. And the Colombian way to set the operas, the stage, the direction, everything was very traditional. And the lighting, everything was traditional and following, as I have just discovered in my very old tattered copy. I have just discovered, because I hadn't read before those notes, that are notes from the writers. The writers of La Boheme, and often in opera, like it happens in films, like it happens in everything, everywhere, the writer is left behind. And the writer is absolutely essential for the plot, for the understanding, and for the beauty even of the music. Because I don't think a composer, even a composer as Puccini, as inspired as Puccini, could write such beautiful music, so inspired, if he didn't have a good writer. In this case, he had two writers, Giuseppe Giacosa and Luigi Illica. Their specific stage direction was that these four students live in an attic, that it has a big window, that it has a table, 4 chairs, a fire, and a bed. And there is the place where you put the paintings for the painter, because the 4 poems are a painter, a philosopher, a musician, and a poet. Typical quartet from the end of the 19th century in Paris, living as artists. I found some also very beautiful writing from the original writer of the play, Henri Murguet, and forgive my pronunciation, my French is I am learning. I'm still studying French after many years. Anyway, the Murguet said that they live a hand-to-mouth existence. Essentially, one day they have no money for dinner, the next day if a little bit of money comes from somewhere, they spend it all, and then they don't have any food for the next 6 months or something like that. And that is a difficult existence, but they are in good spirits. So anyway, this first scene, is supposed to be quite dark. All what they have as lighting, obviously, is candles and a fire. And it's particularly important that later on, when the first love scene develops between the male protagonist, Rodolfo, and Mimi, the female protagonist, when she loses her key and he helps her to find it and grabs her hand and sings the immortal aria, Che gelida manina, mi la lascio riscaldar. What a frozen hand, could you let me warm it up for you? It's important that there is darkness. The staging last night, the stage was very bright. White walls, a sort of a scaffolding of wood that was very white. And there wasn't a bed. And I was so sorry for the poor soprano, who the first thing she has to do when she comes into the stage is to faint, fall on the floor. in the original script it says she leans on a chair. She sits on a chair, but of course in the setting yesterday there was only one chair, and probably was out of her way, or the director of the stage that is very famous, but Mr. Richard Jones, I'm sorry, I didn't like that. And the worst thing is that at the end of the opera she has to die dying, very difficult aria, leaning on a cushion like this and trying to hold herself and to pretend to be fainted or died or something like that in the most incredibly uncomfortable position. I don't understand how the poor soprano put up with it, and how the director made his actors put up with that. Also, I didn't enjoy the acting of the tenor. And initially I thought it was necessarily his acting, but it might have been a stage direction. Again, in the first act, that I have already watched 4 different productions of, in the first act, there is the moment of truth, the important moment where the love relationship starts. Rodolfo is very tenderly bearing his soul to her, and then she bears her soul to him, and is totally natural, as you will see in another video that I will make specifically about the lyrics. It's totally natural that they fall in love. In the staging last evening, it was a little bit as if he was there, like to take advantage of her. There was something unreal about his attitude. Was he told that by the stage director? I have no idea, but I didn't enjoy it. And then, once again, you have no darkness for him to say, in the darkness we can't find your key. It's supposed to be a dark scene, and I know it's difficult to film, but I've seen already 3 other old productions in which they had less possibilities, that nowadays less technical possibilities, in which they respect the script direction and they do the dark lighting. Instead, you move to the second act in the production last night, and there is this Paris that is all light, and so much money went into that. There is a revolving stage, the costumes are lavish, because at the beginning I thought, okay, they are doing a minimalistic staging. No, the second act is really, really lavish and full of light, and in my view, not the right contrast, because the second act looks nearly like a traditional staging with the lavishness and the technical possibilities of the 21st century, but traditional in the way it looks, while the first act is like too modern for my taste. Perhaps I am too old-fashioned. Anyway, that's all about last evening's performance of the Royal Opera House of La Boheme. It was initially performed in 2017. If you like this series, please, if you are interested in to know more, subscribe to them. And even if you don't subscribe, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to like it or not. I'm not going to be too worried about it. And if you like my work in any area, I am also a writer, go to my Patreon page, Patrissia Cuberos, or to my Amazon page, P.E. Cuberos. Cuberos, I think you will find me comparatively easily, or to my Patrissia Voices page on Facebook. And ideally, let me know what you think. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.